Alright, I'm a little bit late after the timer because my computer crashed like 2 minutes before the stream was supposed to start. So I'm hoping that it still works. Let me know if you can hear me and see me well. I'm streaming a little bit differently this time. I'm actually using different like I usually just stream straight through Google Hangout, but I'm actually using OBS, Open Broadcaster software, which a lot of people use to stream to Twitch and stuff like that. I'm using it to stream to YouTube. And that's how come I can put my little text at the bottom, because that's one of the options in OBS. So just let me know if you can indeed hear me. It says I have 3 viewers currently. I'm going to alert the internet that my stream is up. And this is, like I said, this is new stuff, so I might have some kinks to work out. If there's anything weird about it, if it's too soft, if it's choppy, if there's an echo, let me know. I'm gonna try to fix it. Hello. Alright, got a couple people say that they can hear me. Hatal and Trey. Alright, well, everything seems to be working well. That's good. Because I actually spent like 2 hours, maybe not that long, but a few hours ago, I spent a while trying to figure out how to do it. Because there's 2 different ways you can live stream on YouTube. You can just, the easier way, which is what I usually do, is you just get on your Google Plus account and start a Hangout. And you can select it, you can make it stream to your YouTube channel, which is what I usually do. It's very easy. Just go to Google Hangout, click a button, and there it is. But the second way, which gives you more flexibility, more options, and also gives you the ability to schedule it in advance so your subscribers can see it in their stream, which is very useful. But it's much more complicated. You have to actually have a streaming program, like I'm using OBS, but you can use like Flash Media Encoder, or you can use anything that streams basically, and you have to like connect your streaming program to YouTube. You got to put the right stream address on there. You got to put the right bit rate and all that shit. You have to like schedule it. It's interesting. And you can add ads to the stream if you do it that way, which I don't know if I want to do. But it could be useful. Maybe when my stream starts getting more popular, then I can add some, like an ad at the beginning. Because you know, when you go to Twitch and you watch somebody on Twitch, there's always an ad at the beginning. So I think people are used to it. And I can put ads in the middle too, but that probably doesn't fit the format I'm doing. Using this method, I could also stream video games on YouTube, which is something I might do since I just have more followers on YouTube than Twitch. I might just stream on YouTube. If I do gaming on YouTube though, then I might like put an ad after every game or something, just depending on how long I play. Another thing, if I do it this method, I can add stuff to the description and change the description. I can't do that the other way, so that's cool. So I've got like all my stuff in the description. My Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, t-shirts. So basically what I'm saying is this way, although it's more complicated and weird, it's the superior way. Because then you get to use the program of your choice. And you can do cool stuff with your program. It says, did it always do that? It shows how many people are watching. I don't think it does that when I do Google Hangout. Like it shows on Google Hangout how many people are watching, but I don't think it shows that on YouTube. So that's something new as well. What games would I do? Just whatever, really. I play a whole lot of League of Legends, but so far my experience playing that on stream is not gone well because it's been really laggy. I might just have to fool with the bit rate and buffer settings and shit like that to make it work better. But I mean, it doesn't matter, just anything. I don't really have that many games, but you know, we can play anything. Play some old school games, play some old school RPGs, some PlayStation games. Once I get like a capability of capturing from Xbox, I can play some Xbox games. My friend Casey, who you guys might know if you've seen any of the other live streams, is he recently purchased a few games that he wants to play on his Xbox, and if I can get a capture device, we can stream some Xbox. He's got Diablo 3 and the WWE, I guess 14 is what's coming out. So that'll probably be fun to watch. Me and him recently got like into wrestling again. It's kind of hype. Hello, Ill Will. And apparently you can like the video too. I don't think you can do that from Hangouts either. Interesting. One thing about Hangouts is you can have more than one person in the stream with you. So if you wanted to stream with a friend, you could do the Hangout. Would probably be a better option. You can do that with at least OBS. You can like set up multiple cameras, but it's more complicated. I don't think I'm able to do that. Ben drowned. Who's Ben? Another thing you can do using this method is you can put a thumbnail for your live stream. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the live stream has a thumbnail. And that's cool. Battlefield 3, I'm not into that. I played a small amount of Battlefield 3. My friend Casey, who I just mentioned, is super into Battlefield. That's like his first-person shooter of choice. Um, I'm not really into first-person shooters at all anymore. But I mean, I'll play it. Like if I'm playing with friends, I'll play it. Actually, you have to go to the eye doctor. Well, that's probably more important. But I will do it again. So as of now, my plan is to stream twice a week. So next time it will probably be Sunday night. If this is the better time at this time during the day, at least during the day here, I'm not sure where you are, but I'll probably do that next week, next Wednesday. I'm thinking Wednesdays and Sundays are going to be the 2 days that I stream. So keep that in mind. Do you follow the NBA? How do you think the Lakers are going to do? I don't really follow NBA that much anymore, which is sad. I should. Maybe I should start following it again. Maybe I will this year. And actually, the Lakers, when I do follow the NBA, the Lakers are my team, which is sort of unfortunate because at least around here, everyone hates the Lakers. But I don't really follow it enough to give you a good answer to that, so I won't attempt to. The time is party. True. Agreed. Maybe well, I don't know if I can. I was thinking about the ads, like I mentioned earlier. I'm able to put ads on my live stream, which is kind of annoying, but it could be useful. But I think if I put ads on, it forces you to watch an ad before you watch the stream, and then from that point, I can just sort of add them in wherever I want, and then probably one at the end. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know if I want to do that because my live streams don't really get that many views anyway. I'm from UK, so what time are you going to be streaming? I stream Wednesday and Sunday. Well, that's my plan. Don't set in stone yet. I plan to stream Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays at 12 noon my time, which is about 5 p.m. GMT, and then Sundays will be 9 p.m. or around 9 p.m. my time, which is really, it's like 3 in the morning GMT. So that's probably a better time for people in the UK would be the Wednesday one. I wanted to do one at different times because the 9 o'clock one is really good for people in Australia, and the 12 o'clock one is really good for people in the UK as well as North America. And those are my 3 biggest areas, and they're like, you know, the main. It's like the left side, the middle, and the right side, so it sort of covers a lot of times. I'd like to think, at least. I feel like one of those times is good for somebody, for everybody. And they're both decent for Americans, because young Americans tend to stay up past 9 p.m. anyway. I certainly do. But if you don't want to stay up that late, then there's the 12 p.m. one. There's a painting of a man with dreads behind me. Is it me? It is me. It's a painting that my friend my friend did of me. I commissioned her to paint me, and she did. And I don't know if you can tell from here, but what it is it's me as a genie, and instead of a lamp, it's a beer can, a Miller High Life can to be specific. So it's me coming out of a Miller High Life can as a genie. I think you're a super chill dude, and just want to tell you, more people should learn to be more relaxed and chill. I agree. We need to just chill out sometimes. I don't know. It's okay to be passionate and to be emotional as long as as long as you're not doing weird stuff, as long as you're not bothering people, as long as you're thinking, being rational. Because I mean, sometimes I enjoy people who are like really passionate and active, but it just depends on how they apply that energy. What would you choose between a bowl of cereals or a party? That's a pretty random ass choice. Well, I don't really eat cereal ever, so I'd probably choose the party. Cereal is either like not very good, or it's like too sweet, or it's just like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm being nourished when I eat cereal. And I don't really like milk that much either. So cereal's not really my thing, unless there's nothing else to eat. You know what is my thing? Powerade Zero. It's not a sponsor. I wish. I'd promote Powerade Zero. That's my jam. Lost the stream. Now it is looping the side. I'm a bit late. I don't. This, like I said, this is a new method of streaming. So you guys have to let me know what happens if anything weird happens. I'll have school on Monday after the Sunday stream. I don't think I'll be getting up at 3 for that. I'll stick with Wednesday. Yeah, the Sunday stream is not very convenient for people who live in the UK, which is like the main reason why I made another stream. Why I'm doing it twice a week instead of once a week. And mainly I have the Sunday stream, and the Sunday stream will sometimes be on Friday or Saturday when I do pregame streams. I don't know if any of you have watched any of the pregame streams, but I do those on weekend nights before I go out, and it's just me and my friends drinking beer, and that will replace the Sunday stream when it happens. Do I have to work at all? Do I have to work? I don't have to, I guess, but nobody has to. Unless you mean, it depends on what you consider work. I do a lot of work maintaining my YouTube channel and internet presence, and that work pays me a little bit. I don't do anything specifically besides that, though, if that's what you're asking. I might have to soon, unless I start making more money. Which is why I'm pushing my donate page and my spreadshirt. You see the link there. If anyone's interested in supporting me, click on that link. It'll give you many options of ways to do that. You can do it a one-time thing, or you can do like an overtime thing, or you can buy a t-shirt, or you can just help me out by sharing my videos, liking, favoriting, and all that good stuff. It's all good. When I'm playing League of Legends, do I multitask at all? Sometimes. I have 2 monitors, so it's easier for me to multitask. Sometimes, I mean, usually, especially if it's a normal game, if I'm dead, I'll like go look at Facebook or something. But I have 2 monitors, so I don't really have to like tab out and not be looking at the game. So I think it's easier. Do you have a job, or does YouTube cut it for you? Yeah, I mean, YouTube is my job right now, but I hesitate to call it a job because I don't really make very much money at all. And it's getting to a point where I may have to pick up something to make a little extra money, because it's not that much. What's up? Can't watch you because I'm in class. Well, get your class done. I guess you're probably not watching, but get your lesson. Do your schooling. More important. Got 13 viewers now. Trying to figure out ways that I can use, because now that I use OBS, I feel like the delay is better than it is when I do Google Hangouts. I don't know, like it's not as bad. I feel like it's only a few seconds now instead of like 3 minutes. But using OBS, I can do a whole lot of stuff. I can have multiple sources. Like I can put pictures on the screen and text. I can show you my monitor. I can show games and stuff and windows. It's cool. Somebody just sent me a message. You learn. School is it depends on your school, but I think the main benefit of school nowadays is to just teach you how to like not be stupid. Not so much teach you how to be smart, but just teach you how to not be stupid. And that's just not just like book stupid, but like teaches you how to interact with other human beings in a closed environment. And I think that's useful. And I think it's something we take for granted. Looking for sure. Hello. But you're right in that our education system is flawed, and I think it's not just America; it's other places too, like UK and probably some other places. Because the way that it works is, if your school does well, if the students in your school do well, then um, you get more funding. Especially if it's a public school, you get more funding from your government if your school produces more high test scores. So then you're like, okay, well, we need to figure out a way to make the test scores higher, regardless if that involves actually teaching stuff. And the same thing with teachers. It's like, teachers, if your students make high test scores, then you get paid more, or you are less likely to lose your job. So the teachers are like, okay, well, I need to make sure my students have high test scores. How do I do that, even if I don't have to teach them anything? Hmm. What do I think about representation in League of Legends? It took them 110 characters to make a black champion. Um, I don't know. I guess I don't care. It is something that people complain about, and there are people, like, the community tries to argue that certain champions are black, like Karma and Nidalee, and some people even say Tarek is black. But Lucian is definitely the only unequivocally black champion. But when I guess it's just when you're thinking of, like, when they're thinking of the things that they're whatever inspires them to make the characters that they make. You don't often think of black black people, and that's just a self-fulfilling. That's like it's just a circle. I guess self-fulfilling prophecy is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. But it's like, okay, so in the past there were less black characters. So in the future, when you make characters that are homages to those old characters, or based on or inspired by those old characters, you don't think of black characters because those characters weren't black, and so on and so on. And I'm pretty sure Lucian was created directly as a result of the community complaining about there being no black champions, because they do that. Um, I'm pretty sure that Leona was created only because people complained that there were no female tanks, and I don't know if that was a little bit. It's like, why did females always have to be like the quick, devious type champs? Why can't there be a tank? But ultimately, I guess I don't care. Lucian's fun to play, by the way. YouTube is actually, depending on where you go on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff on here that will help you not be stupid. I think that anyone in school should supplement their school lessons with YouTube, actually. Like, if you want to, like, one thing I hear from, like, everybody is like, math is boring, I hate math. Like, I don't mind, some people, like, I like science, but I just hate math. Or like, I don't mind reading, but I hate math. Like everybody hates math. But if you watch Minute Physics or Number File or Vihart on YouTube, I guarantee you it'll give you a whole new love for math. Math is amazing. It's just taught in a boring way in school. So everyone hates it, which is a shame. But so anyone interested in making math fun, watch Vihart or Number File or Minute Physics. And there's probably more. There's a lot of really good channels devoted to making you smarter, which is good. So my problem with POC characters, people of color characters, they usually get done wrong. And even if they're done right, someone's going to complain they're done wrong because it wasn't from their racial or ethnic group that was responsible for their creation. Yeah, I don't know. It's in a game like that, I don't really care. Because there's like, there's like lizards and ghosts and beavers and shit. Well, I don't know if Teemo's a beaver, but I don't know. It's a fantasy game that's not really trying to depict any sort of real real demographic. Like if you have a game, say if you have a game, they can say whatever their fictional land, that they can make up the demographics. It's fine. If you have a game that takes place in Japan, you're gonna see a bunch of Japanese people, and you can't complain. It's like, why is there not a whole bunch of black people? This is racist. Well, no, that's not. That's just not the demographic. But if you say if you have a show or something like Seinfeld or Friends that takes place in New York City, which is one of the most ethnically diverse places on Earth, and there's nothing but a bunch of white people running around, that's when I think you have a right to complain. It's like, this is completely ethnocentric and wrong. It's just incorrect, and that's a problem. Vihart Fibonacci spirals. Yep. All of her videos are amazing. Vihart, I want to marry Vihart. She's like the best. Rocket science is singularly responsible for my love of math. That's what's up. You don't meet too many people that actually study rocket science. Like, you hear the term rocket science all the time because people's like, it's not rocket science. No, math is amazing. It's beautiful. It's like poetic. It just sucks that it's taught in a boring way. I had the same problem with literature when I was a teenager. Like, I hated reading when I was growing up. It was like, well, this is boring. And I hated taking literature classes because they make you read all this dumb shit, and they make you like write essays and shit. Like, this is boring. But luckily, when I got to college and I took some creative writing classes and English classes, and it really expanded everything for me. And now, like, writing and reading, even though I don't read that much anymore, at least books, I read a lot on the internet. I need to get like I should download ebooks, and I would probably read more. But now it's like one of my favorite things. I love literature, and I love poetry, Well, I think that it's a legitimate concern that League of Legends doesn't have any black characters, especially when there's like over 100 characters. But I don't even care. I think it's. I mean, I don't think it's. You can't just like claim that they're racist or something. But I think it's something to raise your eyebrow at. But again, I think that's just based on, the old stories and the old lore that the characters are based on. There's not that many black characters. So it's just a cycle. You gotta break the cycle. What are your thoughts on classical education? I don't guess I know that much about it specifically to have thoughts on it. Is it controversial or something? I didn't know anything about it. Are you just talking about I don't know. Isn't that like a specific type of education that has like certain things? Like that's like what our education is based on, right? Like math, science, literature, or whatever. I haven't really kept up with preseason football at all, so I couldn't make any like top 10 lists. But as the season progresses, I'll start paying more attention. That's just another byproduct of not ever watching TV. Is you miss a lot of sports. I could watch them on the internet though. I need to get like a ESPN account or whatever. How do I feel about shows that cater to racial demographics? Like what? Like what's an example of a show that caters to racial demographics? You mean like shows on BET? Well, that's the thing. When everything on TV is like white centric, because there's different cultures. Like what like there are black families in the world, so why wouldn't there be shows about black families or Hispanic families or Asian families? Like, why wouldn't that be a thing? Because that exists. There are black neighborhoods. There are neighborhoods where there are like 90% black people. How come that's, why can't that be a show? That's a thing. And especially, I think they're useful, especially to let people know how it is in other areas of the world or other neighborhoods. Like the show Good Times, like I don't really know how that was perceived because it came out like before my time, but I can imagine that was eye-opening for people that didn't live in the hood. It's like, yeah, there are people that that's like real shit. Like it wasn't exaggeration. The shit that they dealt with on that show is real, and you may not know that is a thing if you don't watch it, or if you don't live it. And so it's the same thing with other kinds of racially specific shows. Math is just like cooking. Follow the recipe. It all boils down to 1 + 1 = 2. Everything is done through a system, and that system always works. You can learn if you just pay attention. I mean, at the basics, basically that's right. That's one of the things that's beautiful about math is like it works, and it works in so many ways. It's like self-proving. Like if you ever wonder why something works, you can just like figure the same problem out in another way, and it works. But it does get more complicated at the higher levels. There's a lot of a lot of mathematicians that propose different kinds of situations and theories and stuff, and that's way over my head. But I know it gets complicated and it gets theoretical and stuff. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like it's making things worse to have black television, and there's shows with just white people or just black people and no middle ground. Well, there's room for it all. If television is supposed to imitate reality, then you have to have all of it, because there are black families and there are black neighborhoods, and if TV ignores the fact that there are black neighborhoods, then it's not imitating reality. It's creating some new unrealistic reality. Fixing TV is not the problem. Fixing society is the problem. But it doesn't have to be divisive. Culture is culture. If you grow up in a certain area, you're gonna live a different way than somebody who grew up in a different area. That's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not divisive. It's just how it is. And our fiction should imitate reality to some extent. So I don't know. That's fine. I don't know. A lot of people complain about like why is there a BET or like whatever, but it's like because because black people and just minorities are vastly underrepresented on TV, and it's not even just an issue of representing people. It's an issue of black actors not getting work because the shows don't want them on their shows. So that's another reason why those shows are useful, is they give people jobs that wouldn't otherwise get them. But I don't know. You can, if you think that if the problem is divisiveness, then that's a societal problem. That's not a TV problem or a video game problem. Our TV shows and stuff are just there to they are based on our reality. If our reality changes, then probably the TV will change. But as far as our reality is, it should be more imitative of reality, and it's gotten better, but it really isn't. Knuckle corn, hello. What do you think about Ben Affleck being Batman? I don't mind. Personally, And I don't know, maybe this comes as a shock to people, especially since I have on a Justice League shirt. Personally, I don't really like. I think most of the Batman movies are overrated. Like I think all except the first two Tim Burton movies are overrated. So I'm not that really invested in Batman as a film character. So I don't really give a shit who plays Batman. But I think the main reason that people are upset about Ben Affleck is because he made Daredevil, which was kind of bad. Even though I kind of enjoyed it, but that's just because I like Daredevil. But I will agree that it's not that good a movie. But the thing about Daredevil is that movie came out like what 15 years ago. It's like get over it, man. He's done a lot of good shit since then, both acting and director wise. So as a Black Nerd Comedy, who's a YouTube channel you should check out. But as Black Nerd Comedy put it, Ben Affleck is bigger than Batman right now. Like he's doing them a favor by being in their movie. As an atheist, do you consider marriage important, or do you think it's more a religious thing? Um, I don't think it's important, and I don't think it's a religious thing either. Well, religion has sort of hijacked marriage. They by no means invented marriage. Marriage predates religion, especially Christianity. It predates Christianity by a long shot. But um, in in most Western society, at least in America, marriage is important if you want to uh, just like in terms of just living in our society. Marriage is wrapped up in our government like way too much. But since it is, if you live with someone that you plan on living with forever, um, much less if you plan on having a family with that person, it's in your best interest to get married. Um, Other than that, I think marriage is it's it's a very symbolic. It's a very nice symbolic gesture of showing that you are devoted to a person. I think that's fine. Um, but beyond that, I don't think there's any like cosmic importance to marriage. It's just a thing you can do if you want. And it just happens to be so tied up in our government, which I don't think it should be, but it is. So since it is, it's like, might as well do it if you think you found a person that you're gonna chill with forever. How did you become such an intellectual person that can converse about a topic without any problem? Um, it's not so much that. Well, I mean, I guess I'm intellectual, but the thing is, I don't talk about stuff that I don't know about, which I'm sad that more people don't do that. uh, like I've been asked many questions in these live streams where I'm like, I haven't really looked it up enough to give you an answer, and I don't answer. So I guess it's easy to look smart when you only talk about stuff that you have an idea about what you're talking about. And also, people ask me a lot of, I say, philosophical type questions, and not so much knowledge-based questions. And I'm definitely better at that. Like, I don't think I know that much stuff. I'm just good at thinking about stuff that I already know about. Like, if you start asking me, like, fucking, what's the capital of fucking Australia? It's like, I don't know. Actually, I should know that because I just looked that up. It starts with a C. But anyway, if you start asking me stuff like that, then I'll break down. I won't win. But I'm good at thinking about things that I already know because I think all the time. Speaking of shows, do you watch any at the moment? What are your favorites? I don't watch any shows. I watch YouTube all the time, and that's pretty much it. I just sort of randomly catch stuff on YouTube, on Netflix sometimes, but I don't watch anything consistently at all. Don't watch TV. The modern idea of marriage is rooted in the Roman Empire and Augustus' reforms. He created the concept of marriage and of the concept of marriage-based tax break and incentive, for example. See, I didn't know that. I think Ben Affleck is a fine actor. I don't know. The problem with Daredevil was not Ben Affleck. The problem with Daredevil was just poor casting across the board and a ridiculous story and ridiculous fucking dialogue. But people have been hating on Ben Affleck for a long time. He's just sort of got that over his head. Do I watch PewDiePie? I guess I don't watch him consistently, but I do catch his videos from time to time. I like PewDiePie. I want to meet him. Insight. That's what everyone needs. Insight to think up an answer with the knowledge you do know. I guess. I don't know, you just keep just try to, I feel like I just try to keep myself I like bombard myself with stuff, with not necessarily just information, but definitely like information and inspiration and just opinions and just whatever. I'm always like looking at stuff. So I feel like I've heard a lot of sides to most stories, and I've gotten pretty good at forming opinions on stuff, I guess. I don't know. If I actually knew more stuff, that'd be even better though, because I don't know that much stuff. I don't know, maybe I know some stuff. It's just sort of random what I know. What's your view on legalizing marijuana? I made a video about that. It's called Black Guy with Dreads is Shockingly in Favor of Marijuana. You should watch it. You can probably tell by the title of the video what my view on legalizing marijuana is, though. I don't think marijuana is going to become legal nationwide anytime soon, though. It's barely legal where it is legal. It's still legal federally. I think it's legal in Colorado and one other state. But if Obama wanted to march up in there and shut the whole thing down, he certainly could. What are your thoughts on the epic rap battles of history? I love it. I think it's awesome. It's a brilliant idea, and it's well produced. That's like the best thing about it. It's not shitty. They put a lot of work into them, and I think that's part of why it's so good. I like when they have the guest stars, like when they have George Watsky on there, or that other guy. What's his name? I can't remember. There's another guy on there that's really good. Hold on. I don't remember this dude's name, cause I'm like subscribed to his channel. And he's got MC Mr. Napkins, this guy. This dude is really awesome, super good rapper. He hasn't updated his channel in a little while, but he's cool. Do you like Odd Future? I like Earl Sweatshirt. That's pretty much it. I feel like I'm here late and a lot of questions have already been asked. So what is the subject you really want to talk about? Doesn't matter to me. It's only been an hour. Haven't been asked that many questions. In fact, most of the questions I've been asked this time have been pretty unique. So it's unlikely that you'll ask the same question. Because, you know, every live stream I get, like, certain questions, like, you know, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite book? Which is fine. I don't mind people asking the same questions. But, you know, obviously, those questions have been asked before. But, you know, I'm getting unique questions this time, so that's fine. Just ask. If it's been asked, I probably answered anyway. And if I've already answered it a bunch of times, then I probably just won't answer it, which is fine. Don't feel rejected. Just ask a different question, or follow up on something that I'm talking about. You can ask a question that continue the conversation. We're just hanging out, chilling with Kevbot. That's what it's called. It's not like an interview. We're just chilling. If you wanna me to reiterate something I said or emphasize something, just let me know. Have you ever been to Amsterdam? Because I lived there. I have not been to Amsterdam. I heard that it's amazing, though. I'd like to visit. Blue Powerade, good choice. Have some sitting on my desk, but I'm drinking tea at the moment. Bigelow, the company that makes tea and inflatable space stations. Is that true? That's hilarious. I'm a big fan of Powerade, though. And I'm glad now that they have Powerade Zero, which is 0-calorie Powerade, which I appreciate, because I've been trying to lose a little bit of weight, and I've been working out a little bit more. But it tastes different, obviously, but I still like it a lot, and it still seems to have the same effect on me in terms of like thirst quenching, and also Powerade is very good to help with hangovers, if you didn't know that. Especially if your hangover involves a headache, Powerade is good. And I prefer Powerade to Gatorade. I have a lot of friends that like argue with me on that, but I think Powerade tastes better than Gatorade. I don't think it's even close. Aside from things you aren't too knowledgeable on, are there certain topics you'd feel uncomfortable talking about, or were too hot of a topic? No, there's no topic that I'm like I think is like too controversial, or like I have a trigger for or something like that. I don't have that. The only things I wouldn't talk about are things that I don't know anything about, or topics that in which it involves another person who I don't want to like drag into some mess, or who I don't want to talk about in a certain way. That's the only thing. But nothing for me personally. I don't give a shit. Have you ever been to Ireland? I have not been to Ireland. I've never been outside of America, pretty much. For all intents and purposes, I have not been out of the United States. Certainly not as an adult, which I need to do, which hopefully I can do one day once I actually make some money. Hey guys, I have 35,000 subscribers now. Did you know that? It's awesome. Like zero over normal brand because of lower sodium. Yeah, to some extent, depending on what you're drinking it for. Like when you're like if you're using it for working out or as a hangover cure, the extra salt and sodium is actually useful because your body like loses that shit. But it still works. And I like most of the flavors. The only Powerade, at least Powerade Zero, there's like a strawberry flavor that tastes really weird. I don't really like strawberry flavored drinks. I don't think that. But there's like lemon lime, which is really good. The blue one, I don't even. Oh, it's mixed berry. That's what blue is. I would just call it blue. And there's red. I don't know what the red is, but it's red. It's good. And then the grape is good too. What I rank as my top 5 beers. Also, do I like anything local brewed? I don't often talk about beer because I don't feel like I'm as learned enough in beer, or at least whenever I talk to someone who knows anything about beer, I can't really have a conversation because I'm used to just drinking shitty beer, going to dive bars and drinking shitty beer, so I don't have that much experience with that many different kinds of beers. And I don't think I've acquired the taste for a lot of the more expensive, hoppier type beers, and just I don't know the more full flavored beers. I haven't really acquired the taste for some of them just because they're just like extra bitter sometimes, or they have just some weird novelty taste. But I don't know. Of the beers that I drink, I really like Yingling a whole lot, and I really like Coors Original. That's like one of my favorite ones. I don't know how they get it to taste like that, but because I think Coors Original is, in terms of like American cheap beer, it just tastes so much less shitty than the others, like Budweiser and stuff. When you drink a Budweiser or like a Coors or like a not a Coors but like a I don't know like a Miller or something, they just taste shitty. Or like you can tell that they're cheap when you taste them. But I think Coors it tastes really smooth. I like Newcastle. But and I've had in terms of like the local breweries around here, I like almost everything at Good People. I went to the Avondale Brewery over here, but I didn't really like what I had. I only had one beer though. I can't remember what it was though. Have I ever sleepwalked? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever sleepwalked. If I have, no one has told me. Maybe I did when I was a kid and don't remember. What's my favorite stand-up comedian? It's hard to recall. I mean, it sort of changes just depending on who's really in their prime. But I think like Louis C.K. has been a beast for a long time, but I feel like he's like on the decline right now. But knowing him, he'll probably put out a special in a few months and it'll be hilarious. But his last special was inferior to his previous specials, and I don't know if that means he's on the decline or if he just missed it for a second. But he's been a beast forever, and I really like Kevin Hart. I think he's hilarious. There's just a few like up and coming people, or just people that aren't like superstars, but I really like them. Michael Che is good, and Chris D'Elia is really funny. Should check him out. Spring Street Say Song. I don't think that's the one I had. Yeah, I think Yingling is good. I don't really like PBR though. Like when I'm going cheap as possible, like when I buy beers for pre-gaming just to get the cheapest beer, I either get Miller High Life or Keystone. And from what I've heard, a lot of people don't like Keystone. Like they think it tastes shittier than the others, but when I drink Keystone, it tastes like water to me. But High Life is usually cheaper than Keystone. There's like different tiers of shitty beers, and for me at least, the lowest tier, and that you find at most like gas stations and places, is like it's like Natty and Milwaukee's Best and Bush. And those are all really gross to me. Like, I can barely stomach them. And then, like, just a step above them is Miller High Life and PBR. And I can deal with Miller High Life. And it's really cheap. So, that's what I usually get. And then above that, you'll have, like, the Coors Light and the Bud Light. Which I can drink those, but they're usually really expensive. Or not expensive, but they're more expensive than the ones I named before. I like Cat Williams. I think Cat Williams is hilarious. He's just not that cool a person. Pirate downloads, good or bad? I actually made a video about that too. It's called Internet Piracy. Meh. In general, it sort of depends on what you're doing. Like for example, I think that. Well, first of all, I think if you can do it, well, no, I won't say that, but it sort of depends. Like, I think pirating music is less of a big deal than pirating video games, for example. But overall, I think it's stupid to criminalize pirating music. Because it's like you basically criminalizing somebody for breaking a rule that you just arbitrarily made, which is stupid. It's not an agreed upon rule. It's not a moral rule. It's just a random rule that you made because you're not willing to improve your business model. Like, I think the analogy that I use in the video that I mentioned earlier is like, say if I have like a room in my house that's really cool, and it's like, you can come in my house, but if you want to go in this room, you have to pay. That's not, there's nothing, and so if you go in that room without paying, you're not breaking any moral rules. It's not inherently bad. You're just breaking an arbitrary rule that I just made just because I want to, and just because I just want your money. On the other hand, if you like steal someone's stuff and try to profit off of it as if it's yours, then obviously that's bad, and I think that's immoral as well. But I think the only reason that piracy is illegal is because industries are either incapable or unwilling to improve their business models, which is not my fault. and they just got to get with the times, because we're in a digital era. Um, this is not the old days anymore. You know, a piece of digital music has no value. You can't it has no inherent value, I should say. No inherent value. Like, for example, a physical CD has inherent value because it's a thing, you know. And it doesn't have to be something tangible. Like, for example, visiting the movie theater. That experience has a inherent value. But a digital file that is infinitely copyable has no value. So I think it's stupid to try and charge people for it. In and of it, like, charge people just for that file. Now, obviously, like, say if you're a musician and you put a file on the internet and you have fans that love you and want to support you, then by all means, if they're willing to pay, then pay. Then they can pay, and that's fine. You can make money. But that's not a testament to the inherent value of the thing. That's a testament to the devotion of your audience, which is how I think music and any sort of consumer company or consumer artist relationship should be. It should be they're making something that you want and you're willing to pay for. Not just we're making something that you may or may not want, but you have to pay for it to decide if you like it. That's stupid. Or we're making something that you probably wouldn't pay for if you could get it for free, but you can't get it for free, so pay for it. I think that's ridiculous. And in other industries, it's a little bit harder. Like, I think the video game industry is sort of a little bit different. I still think the same thing applies. But for example, like video games, the developers who make video games, it's hard for an indie developer. It's much harder for an indie developer to make money than it is for an indie musician to make money. Because video games cost a lot of money to make. It costs, in today's day and age, it costs much more than it does to make music. So it's hard for a developer to make money without the help of a big company of some sort to make a decent game. Much less to make a really good deep game. So in that case, it's a little bit different, but I just still think it's a matter of people being unwilling to change the business model. Like when in today's era, that's why I love the internet, because we're just breaking the whole mold. You know, we've got Kickstarter and YouTube and just all kind of stuff that's just completely bypassing the need for these huge corporations. And they're gonna have to do something real soon. I didn't mean to talk about that for so long, but you know, that's the need for these big industry companies is dwindling, and they're gonna have to do something about that. It seems like their preferred method of dealing with it is to get the government to make everything illegal and make us not able to use the technology that we have. But I don't think that's going to work. If it does work, that would be a shame, and that would be devastating to our society and our technology. Don't think it's going to work, though. The internet is just too big and too free. They can't I don't know why they think they can restrain the internet, but they can't. You're moving to a new school. Any advice? You're a sophomore. Just be nice to people. Be confident in yourself, and eventually people will like you. It's not that hard to make friends when you're in a building with a whole bunch of people every day. It's just gonna happen as long as you're just not an asshole. You'll probably be fine on that front. As long as you talk to people and don't be an asshole, you should be fine. Other than that, just try not to fail. High school is not that big a deal, but you probably still don't want to fail. It's just not a good look. Especially if you want to go to college. If you want to go to college, you need to pass. But yeah, just be nice. Talk to people. Be fine. Yeah, I did see your swag comments on there. A lot of my favorite games are independently published these days. Yeah, no, they're often much better games just because they're made without the intent of selling the most copies in mind. They're made because somebody actually wanted to make a cool game, so they're often better games. But I feel like there's no reason why an indie developer, if they wanted to make a competitor to Call of Duty, for example, they just can't do that, really. And maybe they don't want to, but if they wanted to, they should be able to, without having to follow the nonsense business strategy that these companies are trying to force upon us. Everybody is socially awkward. People talk about, it's like, I'm so socially awkward, but like probably 9 out of every 10 person is socially awkward. It's fine. Just take a deep breath and say hi. I promise that they won't eat you. The person that you're talking to is probably also socially awkward. So just try not to be so self-conscious. That's one thing that you sort of have to realize, and you just sort of have to take it on faith. It's like people that are socially awkward often think that it's like they're just under constant scrutiny, and it's like everything that I do, people are watching me, and I gotta make sure I don't do anything stupid because everyone's watching me. But the thing that you need to realize is that people aren't watching you. Most people don't. Most people are too concerned thinking the same shit that you are thinking. They're also self-conscious. Once you get out of that mind state, it makes it much easier to talk to people. And then even if people are watching, it's like, well, who gives a shit? Do you like The Weeknd? I do like The Weeknd. I think he's really good. Quite good. He's actually quite profound. I like his lyrical content. And I like the way he sings. His voice is really cool. Was it Ada's World just got here? Sweet. Not sure how long I'll live stream. It's been an hour 19. I just sort of keep going until it just seems like it's time to go. But I'll go for at least another 30 minutes. Maybe longer. See guitar in the background. Do you play? Nope. Not really. There's a guitar question every live stream, and people are always like, you should play the guitar, but I don't really know how to play the guitar. Maybe one day. I just have it. I don't know how to play it though. Do you think it is a necessity in this society to have any sort of skill? Or is it still possible and even recommendable to live a chill life? I don't know exactly what you mean. I don't think anything is a necessity, but it depends on what you want to do in life. I think everyone has a skill, probably. Your skill doesn't have to be something necessarily tangible or quantifiable, but and I'm not sure why having a skill is mutually exclusive to living a chill life. I feel like you can do both. There are people who just do just sort of do random, repetitive jobs that are really easy, but they do it, and that's their job, and that's what they do every day, and that's what they intend to keep doing, and that's fine. And then there are people who are like really talented at certain things, and that's how they make their living. And there are people that are really talented at things that are unsuccessful, so it just sort of just depends. I think in a previous video you mentioned not doing well at jobs, or rather normal ones. Do you have any horror stories to share? Horror stories. I guess I don't have any horror stories. My job experience is mainly just me like being really unassuming and not talking to anyone, just because I feel like that's better for me. People don't bother me. I just go in and go out. And then eventually I either get really sick of the job, or I just become completely unmotivated to do the job, and either like just quit or just get fired. Nothing drastic has it happened before, I don't think. When I used to work as a delivery driver at Wing Zone, which is a place that sells wings if you don't have that. And it was, everybody that worked there was crazy. Like most people that worked there were like on drugs, because it was like one of those jobs that they just didn't do any sort of background check on you. They just sort of hired you. But it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was any horror stories, but everybody there was crazy. Some of them were cool, but they were all crazy. How much money do you make out this YouTube thing? Is this your only job? This is my only job currently. That may change soon. How much money do I make? I make a little bit, not a lot. It's probably the equivalent of less than minimum wage is what I make. So not that much, but it's something. It's more than zero, which is amazing. And I've been able to pay my bills. Like I haven't had a job since February, and I've been able to pay my bills since then, so it's something. If you won the lotto, what 3 things would you buy first? Assuming that you don't include, like, the very first thing I would do if I ever got a whole bunch of money at once is I would put a shit ton of it in the bank. And the second thing I would do would be to clear my debts. and the debts of my family members. But other than that, I would just wild the fuck out. I'd probably die, honestly. So maybe I shouldn't even bother putting money in the bank. No, I don't know. I don't think I would die, but I would go crazy. Like, I would just buy a whole bunch of shit. I'd party all the time. Cause why not? Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, I'd probably buy a car. Probably buy like a badass car and a badass house, and then just a whole bunch of clothes. Cause why not? If you got a shit ton of money, just fucking go hard. Well, I'd probably get a badass computer too. I'd probably trick out my computer, get a bunch of electrical, like a bunch of camera stuff, and like, I don't know. I want it all. I want it all. I'm trying to get that money. When someone asks you about your weakness at a job interview, what do you say? I don't know. I hate job interviews. They're so bullshit. I'm pretty sure I've been asked that before. I'm trying to think of what I did say. I think I say stuff like, you gotta make, like, if they ask you that, you have to say something that still makes you look good. So you have to be like, my weakness is getting too is being too focused on the job at hand. Sometimes it's like, sometimes I'm just so focused on getting the job done. Like, you gotta say stuff like that. Job interviews are bullshit. Are you athletic? I don't think that's a word I would use to describe myself. Although I've been trying to work out lately, so maybe one day I'll be athletic. I used to be athletic when I was a teenager. What advice do you have for fellow YouTubers? Basically, just focus on making good videos. That's like the main thing you need to work on, or you need to be good at, is making videos. People always try to give all this random advice, like, you gotta comment on the videos, you got to make sure your titles and tags are good, and you gotta make sure all this other stuff. But really, the only thing that's going to make you successful on YouTube is making videos that people want to watch. So you need to figure out you gotta figure out how to make your videos good, or make your videos watchable. Sometimes what you think are the best videos won't be the ones that are most popular, and you just have to sort of know what that is, Like, I don't know. What do I have? I have like one of my most viewed videos is my Call Me Maybe lyrics analysis. And I don't think that's a good video at all, but it's just a video. The subject matter is just something that a lot of people were into, and I kind of knew that people would be into it, which is probably why I made it. But the video itself is kind of bad, like, it sucks. And that's just one part of it. I'm not saying, like, just make shitty videos and just make videos you think people, because then you make videos that are really good, and those are the ones that are gonna give you the consistent viewers. Those are the ones that are gonna give you subscribers. Because, like, the Call Me Maybe video got a lot of views, but it didn't bring in that many subscribers. But then, for example, my Disney villains video, which I think is better. I don't think it's perfect, but it's better. It's a better video, and it's It's one of my most viewed videos, but it got a whole lot of views, brought in a whole lot of subscribers, and I think that's just because it's a good video that people wanted to share. So make good videos. That's my advice to YouTubers. If you have any like other specific questions about certain areas, then that's certain technical things, and that's, you can ask that too. But in general, as a YouTuber, if your goal is to get subscribers and views, the number one thing you need to do is make good videos. Are you aware of the cricket player with the same name as you? I am aware of him. Apparently he's really good. Yeah, I've Googled my name before. I grew up thinking that my name was too like generic for it to be the name of a famous person, but he proved it wrong, because he's famous and he has my name exactly. Do you have any plans to collaborate with other YouTubers? I mean, I'd love to collaborate with people. I don't really have that many connections in the YouTube community, specifically. I have collaborated before, but collaborating is sort of weird, and especially if you're doing it remotely, like if you're doing it with a person that's not actually there with you. It's a little bit weird, because you have to sort of write a script or something, and you have to like, you're like, man, I hope they don't think this is stupid, or I hope they don't like not want to do it because it's dumb. So you have to like overcome that barrier when you collab with people. But I mean, I'm down to collab with people as long as it's something good. Do you get weird first reactions when you meet people because people stereotype and think because you're a black guy with dreads that you must be a thug? I don't know if people think that I'm a thug when they see me, because I don't really dress like a thug. But I'm sure people have like preconceptions about me when they see me. That's just it's just part of the package. I don't really pay attention to it though, so I don't know. Cheesy movies. You know what's a cheesy movie? Sharknado. It's hilarious. Do you have a plan B you can think of besides the YouTube thing? I don't really have a plan B in terms of something that's going to sustain me forever. I could go back to school, or I could just, the thing, my at least my philosophy, which could be flawed, we'll see. My philosophy is that if you've got a plan B, then you're not totally focused and you're not totally passionate on what you want to do. There's two types of people. There's a person that has a plan B and they go for it, and then if it doesn't work out, then they're like, okay, at least I got my plan B. And then there's people that decide what they want to focus on, and then they just relentlessly pursue it, and they don't stop until they get it, no matter how long it takes. And I'm of the latter, and I appreciate the latter more. Is there a job you'd never want to do in your lifetime? What is it? I don't know. All of them? Any job where I have a boss? I don't want to do any of those. guys need to chill out in the fucking chat. Keep it friendly. I think a lot of my videos deal with very controversial topics, and a lot of people tell me to stay away from said topics for whatever reason. With that said, are there any topics you won't touch? There are topics that I don't stay away from something because it's controversial, but I tend not to talk about like political things and current events things, just because I don't want to talk about the same shit that everyone else is talking about. Like, what's the point of me making I don't know, can you hear those dogs? What the hell? I don't see the point of me making like just another video. Like, sometimes I do. Like, I made a video about Trayvon Martin early in the Trayvon Martin case. But, you know, like, what's the point of me making one more video that everyone on the topic that everyone's already talking about? Like, I think it's a waste of time. I want to talk about stuff that people aren't talking about. Usually, that's why I don't usually make videos about stuff like that. I make videos if people specifically ask me for me to make video about certain things. Sometimes I do. Like, I get asked a lot of questions about my atheism, so I've made quite a few videos about atheism, even though that could be considered a controversial topic. But in general, I've made some things that are controversial, but whether or not something's controversial is not really what makes me do the video or not. It's just whether or not I feel like it's saying something that hasn't been said a million times already. Like, I made a video about feminism, which was very controversial, one of my most controversial videos. But I feel like it's not a thing that people were saying that much in the way I was saying it. So I made it. I mean, it overall got a positive reception, but it's even to this day, it still generates a lot of debate and discussion. So, and that's good. I like that. What do you do when you're not making videos? When I'm not making videos, well, the video making process it has a lot of different steps. So there's like writing videos, there's recording videos, there's editing videos, and there's just like brainstorming ideas, and all of that takes a lot of time in and of itself. And I have 3 YouTube channels, so all that goes into each of those channels, which for example, the 1 Word a Day channel, which you guys should subscribe to if you don't know about it. It's vocabulary channel. If you want to increase your vocabulary, you should subscribe to it. It's youtube.com/1 word a day. Anyway, that doesn't take that much writing, but I still have to edit the videos and upload and let it render and all that stuff. So that takes a lot of time. So I actually spend quite a lot of time just doing YouTube stuff. But other than that, I spend a lot of time on social media because I think that's important, just to interact with people. So I'm like constantly on Facebook and Tumblr, interacting with fans. I need to post on my Facebook more often. I post on Tumblr a lot, which is weird because Tumblr is strange and it pisses me off a lot of the time. But I just really like the platform. I like the blog platform. Like, it's instead of just making a status, you're like making a blog. So I like that. But I do that a lot, and I watch a whole lot of YouTube. Like, I'm constantly watching YouTube. But you know, other than that, that's pretty much it. And when I'm not on the computer, I'm just hanging out with friends and drinking beer somewhere, probably. What about using Plan B as a musician? It's stupid you would drop out of school to become an artist because there's a big chance you won't make it. There are exceptions, like Kanye dropped out. I don't agree. Like, I think if you work hard and keep going, you'll eventually make it. If you're passionate enough and you keep a level head and you keep an eye out for the right opportunities and you go about it the right way, eventually you'll make it. Especially in this day and age, in the internet day and age, this is like the best time ever for creative people to pursue careers, because you don't need to wait for the validation of some record label. You could just go on the internet, make music, Um, to some extent, though, like for example, if you want to be a musician but you're not good at making music, it's gonna take you longer to achieve your goal, and you might not know that you're not good at music, and it might take people telling you that you're not good, and then if you really want to do it, you just have to keep going. You have to increase your skill. But if you're passionate about something, you really want something. My personal philosophy is you keep at it until you get there, and it could take years. It could take 5 years. It could take 10 years. But if that's what you want, then you go for it. And if you stop wanting it, then you can go for something else. Or if you don't want it that much, then you can go for it, or maybe go for something else. If you want it but you don't believe that you can achieve it, then you can have a plan B. If you're just like grasping at straws, then have a plan B. But that's not the way I look at it. You've mentioned a couple times that you had a sort of come to Jesus moment about being a dick and starting to change that. Could you elaborate on that revelation? It wasn't really anything super specific. I just had I had a lot of relationships become strained, or if not outright end. And I wouldn't say it's just 100% my fault, but it was basically me not appreciating the people in my life, and just sort of being an asshole to certain people, and just, you know, being presumptuous, and just being a smart ass, and just all kind of thing. And over time, people just stop wanting to hang out with you just because you're not that cool. And I just sort of like sat down one day and thought about it. And it's like, these people are sort of like, they're like right. I should probably do something about that. So I did. We haven't seen a pregame live stream in a while. I miss your friends. Yeah, they haven't really been over here at a good time. I've hung out with them since the last one, but they haven't really been over here at a good time to do a live stream. But maybe this weekend or next weekend, we'll see. What's today? Wednesday? I don't know if they're going out this weekend, but we'll see. At this point in time, can making YouTube videos provide you enough money to support yourself? If not, how can you manage financially? Do you mean like right now? Do I make enough money from YouTube? I don't make enough to live a comfortable life, but I make enough to pay my bills and eat and have a beer every now and then. But that's not that much. My bills aren't that much, and I don't have to spend that much on food. Like, I can go buy some eggs and tuna and be straight. And occasionally, the thing with YouTube is it's just based directly on views. So if you, like, for example, when I had the S video, the mysterious S thing we used to draw, that video blew up and I got a whole bunch of views at once, which resulted in me getting a whole bunch of money at once. So that helped out. That helped me get through a couple months just on that alone. So just the way it works, it's worked out so far. But we'll see what happens in the future, because it's just all dependent on the views. But I'll be fine. Things work out. Things always work out. Oh, there's Chris, who has been in, I think, 2 of the pregame live streams. Or Monty, as he was called. He was deemed in the first one. Monty Montgomery. Favorite bands? I don't listen to current music, so all my favorite bands are bands that are no longer bands anymore. So that's like Nirvana and System of a Down and White Stripes, Queen. Is Weezer still a band? I think so. I like Weezer. But I don't keep up with current music, so I have no idea of like who's good now. This live stream is a little bit slower than they usually are. There's only 18 people watching. That's fine though. 18 is good. I think last Sunday when I live stream, I got up to like 50 people, I think. I need to figure out how to let more people know that it's happening. Because I feel like you should be able to pull a few live stream viewers when you got 35,000 subscribers. I don't know though. Maybe that's not how it works. I'm still learning how all this shit works. What the fuck? God damn it. Somebody just sent me. I keep getting spam email. It sucks. Let's see, what time is it? It's almost 2. I don't know. Maybe 30 more minutes. I don't know, it depends. If at 2 the questions have died down, which is 10 minutes from now, then we'll stop. Have you sold any shirts yet? I have sold some shirts. You should buy one when you have some monies. That would be awesome. I'm 19. I didn't care for school at all, and I got really bad grades. Doing courses next year. What should I do in the meantime? I feel bad because it's real hard to get a job without qualification. Let's see. Doing courses next year. Well, I mean, if you wanna, it's not if you want a job, and if you look hard enough, you'll find a job. It's just depending on what you're willing to do. I mean, you can go like wait tables somewhere. They'll fucking hire you. You know, you can go work the drive-thru somewhere, just to make a little bit of money. You know, the jobs are there. You just gotta be willing to do it if you want to do it. If you don't need to get a job, then you can just use this time to just be productive in other ways. You know, you can clean up your house or something, or get a hobby, or join a community, or or if you want to prepare for your courses, you can get a head start and read up on some of the shit that you're going to be thinking of or being taught about. Try to do something other than sit in your bed. Who's the best band you ever saw live? I haven't seen that many bands live because I can't really deal with live shows that much. Not big live shows, at least. I saw the Roots live though, and they were really awesome. Play Final Fantasy 14. You knew. If you pay for it, I'll play it. How did you initially promote yourself, going from all right, I want to start making videos all the time now, really give it a try, to now? Was it a matter of sticking with it, or was there more? Well, I mean, it was a matter of sticking with it. My main thing was I just liked making videos, and I wanted to try and build an audience. So a long time ago, I decided I was just gonna make a video every week, and I did that pretty much for a long time. And then I think my equipment got stolen, so I was like out of it for a minute. But then I just, eventually got back on it, and I was just getting a lot of good feedback, and I was at the time, I was growing relatively fast for how many subscribers. Like, when I had like 80 subscribers, and I got to 400 in like a couple months, which is I guess it's pretty good when you have 80 subscribers. So I was like, well, maybe I can just grow this more. And then I noticed that people are, starting to make real money on YouTube. And then after a while, once I got a certain amount of subscribers, I started making a little bit, like pennies, but it was money. Like, I'll look up, and I was like, oh shit, I made $10 this month. That's awesome. So I was like, well, there's people that do YouTube for a living, so I'm gonna try to do that. So then I just sort of went ham on this shit, and just started making videos really consistently, like once or even twice a week sometimes. I got real active on social media. Like, I started posting on Tumblr, because I think I had a Tumblr account. No, I think I made a new Tumblr account and started posting on Tumblr. And Tumblr is actually the reason that I got a big push in subscribers. So it's very good that I did that. Got real big. I got real into Tumblr and Facebook, and I just tried to increase my online presence in general. And just basically my entire life began to revolve around YouTube, and so it's working out so far. I pinky promise about the shirt. What shirts have been the most popular so far? Let me see what has sold. I haven't sold that many. I think the My Hair is Awesome one is the one that has sold the most so far. But I've only sold like 3 of them, 3 of those. And that's weird because I think that's probably like the least cool one in the shop. But that's the one that people have bought so far. But I don't have enough to really make a detailed guess about what the best one is. Do you have a favorite Vine post creator? Have you thought about making your own Vines? I'd love to make Vines, but unfortunately I have an old phone that can't run Vine. So once I get a new phone, then I'll start making Vines for sure. Since I don't have Vine, I don't really keep up with Vine that much. I know there's websites where you can do it, but of the ones I'm aware of, the one that I have seen the most consistently funny ones is King Batch. That dude's hilarious, and he has a YouTube channel as well. But his Vines are really good, and they're all funny. Who's the guy with the suit on my wall? That is Mos Def. It's a picture of Mos Def. How did your equipment get stolen? They came in my house and took it. Has your YouTube stardom affected your ego? I don't know. You tell me. I've always been. Well, I won't say I've always, but certainly before I got a lot of YouTube subscribers, I already thought I was the shit. So I don't think that's changed because it was always like that. But I don't think I was ever obnoxiously cocky, and I don't think I am now either. But I've always been confident. I've always had a high self-esteem. So, any plans for your YouTube channel? I don't know. I got a lot of plans. I actually posted on Facebook and Tumblr that because as I think I mentioned in the stream actually, but I don't all I do is surf the internet pretty much and make YouTube videos. So I don't keep up with movies or TV or books or anything like that. And I was thinking about starting a new segment on my channel where I just discuss and review and talk about books and movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I was thinking at first I was thinking about starting a whole new channel, but I think if I do that, I would put it on the same channel. The only problem is I don't want people who subscribe for the regular video blogs to get mad that there's all this other content on the channel, because some people already complain about when I like upload live streams or when I upload the like comments videos that aren't like real vlogs. So I don't want people to get mad, but I don't know. It could be cool. And that would be more work for me because I'd have to do more videos. But more videos is good. You gotta find a balance though. Because if you do, like if I did more videos, I'll get more views. Like if I did 3 videos a week, I'd probably get 3 times as many views. But if I did 7 videos a week, I would probably be spreading myself too thin. And I probably wouldn't get as many views. Like the YouTuber Athene Wins on YouTube, he did this thing where for like a couple months he did a new video every hour, literally every hour. So he had 24 videos a day, and he lost a shit ton of subscribers for doing that, and a shit ton of views. So I don't know. I guess he thought that people would be into it, like, you know, you could go on his channel anytime and there's something new, but it didn't work out. You can't spread yourself too thin. That's an extreme example, but I don't want to just put a whole bunch of shit on there. Do you think trolling is getting a bit old? I think it was cool in 2009, but now it's really lame. Trolling was cool? When was trolling cool? I don't think trolling was ever cool. I think that's the point of it, is that it pisses people off. That's like why you troll, is to piss people off. I don't watch Breaking Bad, but I don't watch anything, so nothing against Breaking Bad. I just don't watch TV or TV shows. Oh, now I've got 21 people. There's like more people now. I think I'm gonna go. 30 more minutes from now. 2:30. I'm gonna end it. It's 2:02 right now. Cause I'm kind of hungry. I don't think I have any food though. I'm gonna go to the store and get some food. Kind of want to order pizza, but I'm gonna resist the urge to order pizza because I don't need to spend the money, and I'm trying to eat a little bit better. I had some pizza the other day. I need to stop eating pizza all the damn time. When all else fails, make a twerking video. That seems to be the overwhelming trend lately. So the thing people don't realize is twerking videos have been a thing since the beginning of YouTube. I don't know why they just recently got popular, but that has been a thing for a long time. I think a content culture segment on movies and books would be cool. Oh. As to Athene, seems like most of his stunts never work out in his favor. Yeah, I don't know. I think Athene is like, I like Athene. I think he's constantly trying new things. Unlike other YouTubers who are just sort of found their thing and they just keep going with the same trend for years. Athene is constantly switching things up and trying different things. But you know, he's always gonna have his core audience, of which I am a part. And you know, he's sort of found a little. I think he's back on track now. Like, he's growing again. For a while, like, I think he lost like 100,000 subscribers after doing that 24-hour thing. Like, he lost a shit ton of subscribers, but he's like on his way back up now, and he doesn't troll on his videos as much. Like, that used to be all he did was troll. And that's how he got his subscriber base, because you know they liked that Athene character, and I mean that's when I first subscribed to him, because I thought it was hilarious. But now he's himself more often in his videos, and you can see that he's like actually, you know, presumably a nice guy. So I like him. Most fucked up video I've seen on the internet. I don't watch fucked up videos on the internet. If I watch a video and it's like labeled as being fucked up, or someone tells me it's fucked up, I don't watch it. I don't have time for that. Anybody got time for that? Like, I've never seen Two Girls, One Cup. I never will unless someone like pranks me into watching it. And nothing like that. I don't watch it. Yeah, one of my fans ordered me a pizza. That probably won't work because it requires me giving them my address, or them giving me their credit card info. Neither of which is that cool. Did you know Germany is offering a third option for baby sex, a non-female male option? I think I read about that when I was researching my video. That's interesting. I don't know what the culture is like over there, but that would not fly here. At least not now. The trolling in the Diablo 3 account fiasco sort of drove me off. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like he's sort of mellowed out now, but who knows what he'll try next. He's been playing the Hearthstone beta lately, and League of Legends is like, I think he's been playing mainly Hearthstone lately, but League of Legends has been his main game for the longest, and they hate his ass. The League of Legends community hates Athene, mainly because of all the trolling he does. But it sort of sucks for him, because as soon as they find out it's him in the game, they just troll the shit out of him. And he got like he got an item in the game named after him, and they just hate that happened. But you know, he referred a shit ton of people to League of Legends, so I mean, he obviously deserves it. But it's just pretty sad how much they hate him. But the League of Legends community is, you know, they're insane anyway. So when you troll them, it's even worse. What do you think of Chicago introducing sex ed in kindergarten? That's fine, I guess. Why not? I don't know. I think we need to stop underestimating what our kids can handle. Kids are smarter than you think, and it's better to teach them correct stuff, and instead of having, because when I was in kindergarten, the shit that I thought about sex was just so fucking stupid. You don't have to, you don't have to go into complete detail, which I doubt they will, but I think it's good to teach sex ed at any level. Speaking of Hearthstone, will you be giving it a try? Maybe. I haven't looked into it really. I haven't. I guess you have to apply for the beta since it's a closed beta. I mean, I'd love to play it. I guess be me playing something recent for a change. I can put it on. I can stream it, or I can put it on my YouTube channel, my gaming channel. Because apparently that's like the new big game that people are streaming now. Like it's like. I think someone told me that at least on Twitch, it's like the second most popular game right now, behind League of Legends, which is pretty interesting, pretty crazy actually. I like trading card games and things like that, so I'd be interested to try it. But I guess I have to go in and apply for the beta. I usually get into betas now, though, because I participated in a few of them. It might take a minute, though. Is that really happening in Chicago, though? Sex ed in kindergarten? It's interesting. Are you getting a GTA? Are you getting GTA 5? Maybe. I'm not getting it. Probably not getting it when it's released because I don't have any money and I don't even have a console that's working right now. But I'd love to get it eventually. It looks really cool. What else do you play besides League? I don't know. Nothing. Just sort of random stuff. I have Smite. I play that sometimes. The Smite beta, another MOBA game. I just sort of just randomly just whatever. I look on Steam and see if there's anything cool on Steam. I was playing Final Fantasy VII on Steam for a while. I haven't played it in a few weeks. I should get back on it. I was playing Saints Row the Third, but I recently beat it. And I was going to try to 100%, but I don't really feel like doing that. But I'll go fuck around on Saints Row the Third. I want to play Saints Row 4, but I'm not going to buy it. I shouldn't spend the money. It's heavily streamed because Blizzard has been really selective with beta invites, co-opting the WoW Diablo 3 net personalities to do their hype work. Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's a good strategy. I think they do that. I mean that's just their strategy in general. Like with their whenever there's like a new patch or even like a new expansion for WoW, they're really selective with who they give it to. And so they have all the big names, making videos about it and streaming it or whatever. I don't know if they let them. I guess they do let them stream it. But I remember when I was into WoW, I used to be so pumped for the new patches and new expansions because I followed people on YouTube that would just, show all the new content. It's like, man, I want that. That's awesome. Did you ever get into any MMOs? The only MMO that I was super into was WoW, but I haven't played WoW in months. and I think it's unlikely that I'll get back into. Well, I don't know. No, I probably won't. It's just too much to think about at once. I think it's unlikely I'll get back into WoW. I've tried many of the MMORPGs that have come out, like or just MMOs in general. Like I played, I have DC Universe on my computer right now, and it's fun for like a while, and then it stops being fun really quickly. And I have Marvel Heroes on my computer right now, and it's decent, but I'm just not into that sort of genre where you just like go around killing stuff and that's it. Sort of like a dungeon crawl type game. Not really into it. I have Guild Wars 2 as well, and it's good. I actually was meaning to play it again just to see like what's new on it. I let it patch recently, so I was gonna see how it was, because I haven't played in a long time, so I'm sure there's a lot more stuff on it now. But yeah, the only one that I really got into was WoW. And I played that for a long time. Played it off and on for quite a long time. Yeah, the Saints Row series is just over the top and awesome. And Saints Row 4 is just looking to continue that trend even more. Yeah, I just have Keith David, who's like a beast. Saints Row the Third has Burt Reynolds in it though, which is really cool. I'm just wondering what can they add to this series, because Saints Row the Third had like everything in it, like everything you wanted to do, it was just there. Like you can tell they just put a lot of effort into just putting a whole bunch of shit into the game. So I'm just wondering like what else can you add to this series? And I wonder that about GTA 4 too. And I wonder if that was their strategy, because GTA 4, in my opinion, besides graphically, was a step down from GTA San Andreas, which is one of my favorite video games of all time. It just had so much shit you could do in it. But GTA 4 limited the amount of stuff you can do. And it's still a good game, but it was just like a step down. But now GTA 5 looks to bring back a lot of the stuff that was missing and more. So I wonder if that was the strategy. It's like, we're going to release this game that's like, so we can lower their expectations, and then we're going to blow them out the water. WoW broke MMO as a genre. I don't know if I would say that it broke it, but the thing is, WoW was so hugely successful, and it came out at the right place at the right time, and it had like virtually no competition. So they just sort of defined the genre, and everyone who came out with the games after WoW had to sort of like catch up to WoW, and so I think what a lot of people's strategies was, we're gonna make a game that's basically WoW except better, but no one really succeeded at that, because WoW has been in the game so long that they've ironed out, you know, all the major bugs that you find in any other game that you start. That's why I like what Guild Wars did. Is they're like, okay, we're gonna make a game that's nothing like WoW. We're not even gonna try to compete with WoW. It's not gonna be a monthly fee. You just buy it and you play it, and it's completely different. But I think I think these companies are starting to realize this, is you can't, if you want to compete with WoW, you're gonna have to just make another game. You're gonna have to redefine the genre, because I think the MMO genre in general is just flawed in general. Like, it's not, WoW just had the benefit of having no competition. But just the genre of MMORPGs where you have to grind levels for hours, like, I think nobody wants to do that shit. Luckily, WoW made people want to do it because they didn't have any competition. But now, nobody wants to do that shit. So, making WoW clones doesn't work because nobody wants to do that shit. Anyway, off of video games for a second. Did you have any favorite classes when you attended college? Would you ever consider going back? My favorite classes in college were always creative writing classes. I love that shit. That's what got me into writing and being more creative. I've always been creative, but creative writing classes got me into writing. And particularly, there was this one creative writing class, short story writing class, that was really awesome. The teacher, his name was Scott McWaters. He was awesome. The best teacher I've ever had. Would I ever consider going back to college? I would consider going and taking classes in specific things that I'm interested in, but I don't think I would ever go and try to get a degree, because nothing that I'm interested in doing requires a degree. So I don't know why I would do that. But maybe I'll encounter something in life that will inspire me to go back to college. Who knows? The fourth one takes the series in a whole new direction. Talking about Saints Row. Interesting. I've watched a couple of videos of it, but I want to play it eventually. I don't want to spoil it. Although maybe it's different in that one, but in Saints Row the Third, there's not really any major spoilers. Like, what happens is what you expect to happen in that game. But it actually has a pretty decent story for what it is. It's over the top and it's hilarious, but it kept me interested. I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. What do we end with? 21. So it's been consistent of about 18 to 21 viewers all at once. The MMO market is in the middle of a huge market correction. Has been since the recession. Prior to WoW, everything was niche games, usually brutally hard. Final Fantasy XI, for example, great niche game. And I think WoW was just another niche game. It just happened to get such a huge audience, and it kept going forever, and people just kept playing it because there was just nothing else to play, really. Also, Blizzard is, as we sort of touched on earlier, Blizzard is really, really good at marketing their shit, especially WoW. They have done an excellent job of marketing WoW. But anyone who's played WoW knows, they over time, literally every single patch, they make the game easier and easier and more accessible every time, every patch, every expansion, because nobody wants to do that shit for real. That's not what people want to do. When you have to like grind and run around and just kill monsters over and over again for hours and hours. Like, I can see, because there are games like Diablo 3, another Blizzard game. It's all you do in that game is kill stuff. But that's the genre. It's a dungeon crawl game. You get the armor, you get the gear. But in WoW, it's like you do that for many more hours, and only to get to the max level or whatever, and then you just grind the same shit more. It's like a grind fest. That's all you do. There's like no end. There's no reward. Like, at least in Diablo 3, you can get to a point where it's like, yeah, I fucking killed Diablo. Let's go. In fucking WoW, it's like, okay, yeah, I killed this raid boss, and I'm gonna go do it again, like 10 times, more than 10 times, honestly. It's just, I think the genre is just flawed. It's fun to some extent, but after you play it for a while, it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not achieving anything. Not sure if you watch Walking Dead, but if you do, are you excited about the new season this October? Who's your favorite character? I don't watch The Walking Dead. I apologize, I can't answer that question because I've never seen a single episode of The Walking Dead. So I have no idea anything about it. I don't watch TV. People just keep asking me, like, do you watch this? Do you watch that? The answer is no, I don't watch anything. What kind of stuff did you like to write? Any particular genres like fantasy? No, I've never really been into genre fiction, especially writing it, because I feel like genre fiction is really hard to do correctly because it becomes all about. I think good writing is all about the characters, basically all about the characters. And in genre fiction, it's really easy to get boggled down in the world and the setting and even the plot sometimes, and you just forget about the characters. And it's hard to avoid that when you're writing genre fiction. So I just prefer like normal dramatic fiction, but I've actually and probably because since John Green is one of my inspirations, I've gotten really into young adult fiction, or just fiction for that's, you know, a lot of my YouTube videos are targeted towards teenagers and young adults, and so that has a lot to do with it too. But I've gotten interested in writing young adult fiction, or like fiction where the characters are young adults, because I don't know, their stories are interesting, or the stories that you can potentially write, I think, are really interesting. Have you played Eve? I have not played Eve, actually. I've heard about it, though. Alright, got about 4 minutes, so we're going to start. I'm going to close it down. Been streaming for 2 hours and 22 minutes, so that's a pretty good stream. Thank you guys for coming to my stream. If all goes as planned, I will be streaming again Sunday evening or Sunday night. At my time, it will be 9 p.m. So that's like, wait, let me look. If you want to know what time that is in your area, let me know. I can look it up for you. Obviously, it's 10 o'clock Eastern American time. Pacific, that would be 7. GMT, that's really early in the morning. 2 a.m. I think. Wait. Yeah, 2 a.m. GMT, so it's not very good for the UK, but that's when I'll do it. For Australian Eastern time, which is like Sydney. I think Melbourne is in that time zone as well. That will be, what time is that? 12 p.m. That's a decent time. So yeah, that's, like I said, I'm going to try to stream twice a week. And if I can get to a point where I'm just like if I can like have a set schedule, which I should do, but it's just, I don't know, it's easier when I'm more flexible. But I want to do like, you know, maybe stream Wednesday and Sunday, and then maybe like a regular video blog on like Tuesday, for example, or just a day. And then I could do a video or like a book review or a TV show discussion or something on Thursday or something like that, just to have something going. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I know there's a couple questions after after the last one, but I don't want to get on another long tangent again. So I'm going to go. I'm pretty hungry. Once again, if you would like to support me and the things that I do, there's a link on the screen. It should be there. theonejanitor.tumblr.com/donate. There are several different ways you can support me, even ways that don't cost money. But there are ways that do require money. If you want to support me, I would vastly appreciate it. It's awesome. But anyway, just by coming and chatting with me in the live stream, you are making my day, so that's good. But of course, onejanitor.tumblr.com/donate. Thanks again. I'm leaving. Holla.